What's up, Snack Pack? It's LK, and I'm back with another episode of Afternoon Snack. And if you've been wondering where I am, don't worry, I've got some big news to share with you in the next week or so here. And as I said, welcome back to the snack. This is your bite-sized musing that you can chew on for the rest of the day, and we make that possible here for you on the snack. This one is highly timely, I'll say, because it is about accounting. And I was recently, with respect to tax season, that is, I was recently rewatching for about the 10th time the Ryan Murphy produced Andy Warhol documentary entitled The Andy Warhol Diaries, which was released just about 2 years ago and which rather swiftly became one of my pandemic obsessions, right? So the whole documentary is based on this book of the same name written by a close confidant of Andy's, a woman named Pat Hackett. And what really began for Andy and Pat as a way of keeping Andy's expenses in order and doing his accounting, he started calling Pat nearly every morning to recount his expenses to her since their last conversation. And this accounting of expenses that he would do with her almost every day became a diary that records in great detail the comings and goings, lovers and friends, peaks and valleys in the life of Andy. And so enthralled with the doc was I that I ended up, ordering the hard copy, not realizing it's quite hefty at about 800 pages and that it was going to take me some time to get through. But a story about my inability to finish a book is definitely a topic for another episode, so we'll just leave it at that. But with tax season, kind of in full force, it did get me thinking and, kind of reeling at the idea of facing down the task of organizing my own uneven, disparate 2023 filing. I started thinking, in the midst of watching the documentary about how so much of the ledger of our lives is reflected in our bank statements and our bank account statements. So I'm scanning my Amex and bank statements, which told the story of the whole year. I'm aligning my business expenses and business activities, to the accounting and adding another layer of this play-by-play of the year for me, where I parked, for when and how long, how much I ate at the airport when I was leaving my nephew's baby naming ceremony to fly to San Luis Obispo to do a shoot. And I ordered the extra fries, so it cost more because I was eating my feelings. And it's in those details that I'm finding kind of more value in the process of doing my taxes this year than simply compliance, the satisfaction that comes from compliance, of course. But seeing the line items, the withdrawals, deposits, the big meals, like I said, it really brought forward emotional memories and insights from the past year, where I was, where I'm going, and what I accomplished or didn't in this, last 12 months. And it's kind of, making it a different process for me doing it this year. I highly recommend, that's my core takeaway from this episode, is I highly recommend trying to view your taxes in that light. If you can view it as an account of our lives, it takes some of the mundaneness out of the activity. And I'll just say, and the anxiety around it too. Let me just add that because I think we can all relate to that. But I think maybe my accountant knows more about me than anyone at this point, and I know why, because he sees everything. And, I did muse in this thought process about how death and taxes come for us all, but in the accounting of our taxes, our lives are revealed, which in some sense is kind of more immemorial, it's more permanent than death even. And maybe I'm just a sick optimist who can't quite get past kind of assigning more value to, a task that is generally considered painful and is painful. But I do propose this for those of us who don't have a priest or a rabbi or a spiritual leader to confide in, that consider the accountant for your confessions. And I know mine makes me feel like I can confess everything. So to a year in 2024, to a filing that's a little more straightforward, and also to keeping a ledger of our lives, whether that's through our bank statements or actually by writing down what happens to us every day. Thanks for joining me on the snack. I'm always happy to be here with you, and you're going to be getting some pretty exciting updates about me, that's LK, on Afternoon Snack, as well as the Show and Tell Studios. So stay tuned, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.